so the first thing we need to do is a scope out mission. No, what's really important for everyone to know is what they need. So you need to have a kasatka. Kasatka you can buy at the Warstock. It's the first thing. It's a submarine. In the kasatka, if you have enough money, you get the Sparrow, and that will set you the Sparrow with the missiles, and that'll set you up to do the Cayo Perico heist really easily to help you with all the setup missions. Alright, so number one is you register as a CEO or as an MC. I will be registering as a CEO. Then you go to the planning screen inside of your submarine, and you will have to pay $100,000 to start the Cayo Perico heist. So you accept to proceed, and we will do the gather intel mission first. So it's good to know in advance what you need to do. Basically, you're going to have to go to a plane, and that plane will be guarded. Best thing to do here is to fast travel. So you sit down, press square, and then you fast travel. Basically, you keep pressing up and down until you're the closest to the yellow circle as you can. So in this case, around here is the closest as far as I'm concerned. And it's going to cost you money to fast travel. Depending on where you're at in your mission, it could cost up to $2,000. It could cost from $2,000 to I think $20,000. But don't quote me on that. But this will allow you to get this part of the mission done faster. Now, once you get the plane to Cayo Perico, you won't have to do the plane part again, even if you fail the scoping mission. So in your Kasatka, you head over to your Sparrow, and you fly out of your submarine. Now, what I would always recommend is to not land immediately right on top of the plane that you're going towards. You're going to get a smuggler's plane. Now, depending on how good you are at the Cayo Perico heist, you will experience different levels of skill. I'm going to do it a way that has consistently worked for me. So I park fairly far away, and then I take a gun that's pretty long range, and then I try to scope them, and then I die. It's very normal to die, so don't worry about it. Well, I don't worry about it, because at the end of the day, my only concern is to grind money. You do want to make sure you kind of rush, but the fast travel helps because it gives you more time. I like to be far enough. I should have landed further than what I did. I just haven't done the Cayo Perico heist in a while, so I hadn't done this setup in a while. No, one word of caution is when it comes to sniper guns, they do damage the plane, so unless you can absolutely shoot the person without hitting the plane as well, don't shoot at the person. If you can shoot at their legs like that, like I'm doing here. There's another person here. No, it seems like everyone's dead. Once you've shot everyone, go ahead and get in the plane. So what you want to scope out at the island is the number one thing is you want to get to the tower. Secondly, you want to find all the cocaine. The tower will allow you to hack into the cameras, the compound, so you'll be able to find the main loot. You want to find all the cocaine, and you want to poison the well. Because I do the Cayo, the actual heist with a group of friends, I always scope out the cocaine. Because we'll use the boat to get into the Cayo Perico. If you're only doing it with one friend, what you're hoping to get at the tower is 2 gold. Now press down left of the joystick. On the left joystick, if you press down, the wheels will go up. And this part is a bit boring. Basically all you're doing is flying towards Cayo Perico, which is near the airport. And the gun running, or the smuggler's plane is actually pretty hard to fly. If you're near the mountains, never try to go over the mountains with it, because you'll end up actually getting stuck on the mountains. I'm going to try to do it as fast as I can. I could do it fairly fast, but also what's really good about doing it live is that you get to see a real live timing of it. A lot of YouTubers, they're always talking about how everything takes like 10 minutes or 15 minutes. And it honestly takes longer than that, but you just never know until you're doing it, and then you realize you're running out of time to complete the heist or to do the setup, because you thought that when they said 15 minutes, it was actually 15 minutes. The scoping mission, when I do it, takes a little bit longer because I am going after 3 separate things. And finding the poison to poison the well is to weaken the guards. It just makes the whole heist a lot easier. So that's it. You're flying towards a yellow circle, and this plane is very maneuverable. You can do all kinds of little tricks with it, even when you just start to fly it. The only thing, like I said, is if there is a spawning location near the mountains, never try to go over the mountains. I've done that so many times where I got stuck. And there's a theory that the higher you fly, the faster the plane goes. But that was pretty fast. So far it's taking us 10 minutes. We're at the 10-minute mark now.
Paren, esperen ahí. Why can't you assholes be on time for once, eh?
Could you also
Arms
be on
out,
time
let's go.
once? Jomeng.
Okay, wait over there. They will bring it soon. Go on.
Alright, so looking for three things: cocaine, poison, and getting to the tower. So first you get into the hangar. You can do this in whatever order, but I'm doing this first, checking the hangar, and I take a picture of everything, even if it's not cocaine, because what I want is I want to be able to see my map later that this isn't cocaine. Sometimes people just take pictures of what they want, but then they get confused later trying to figure out what the heck they had and if there was anything, oh, was there anything in the hangar, and then they end up wasting too much time. So here looks like I have 4 cache. So far it's not so good. I still take a picture of all of them. I'm not speed running it per se, but I am gonna always try to do the scope as fast as I can. So there's a hangar here. Sometimes you can find an outfit here. Outfits are helpful for when you want to disguise, in case you have a lot of cocaine in a very hard to find spot. And they're usually in some sort of box, like a little milk container, milk carton containers. This is a second spot where you could potentially have cocaine, but there isn't any. And then up here, sometimes there's like a little outfit, and there is in this case. It's disguise. There's multiple ways to do the Cayo Perico heist, and if you go to the career progression, they ask you to do a bunch of different things to be able to win, to get a free car. Okay, so far we haven't found anything of note. There's no cocaine, and we haven't found any so there's no cocaine, mostly. So now where I'm gonna go is over. I'm gonna go to a very specific path that gets through the guards, and you need a bike for it. If you don't make it, there's a bike here that respawns, so you just run back behind this guard and come back, and there should be a bike that respawns there. So that same is true for if you're playing with multiple players. If you see a question mark, that's really easy to find. Why not? I forget how to. Forget how to get the metal detector. But when there's a question mark, it means there's cash somewhere. And theoretically, there's a way to bring out a metal detector, but I can't figure out what it is. Haven't done it in so long. I thought it was like right D-pad or left D-pad. Oh, it's a L1, L2, L2. Do you see that around a circle? There you go. Grind the KOs right. So only like I only get those if it's easy to find. If you're really short on cash, you're not good at the KO. Go towards the question marks. They're a really good way to learn about the map and a really good way to get better at scoping. Now, not everybody does all of this scoping. I do this. This is my ritual. I get really great results by doing the KOs after, by succeeding them and completing them. So then you run in your motorcycle, you drive and you hit this area to try to go over this boulder here, like this whole hill. Now, normally I go with the bike, but in this case, I jump completely off the bike and I just keep going. So don't worry if you lose your bike, that's life. As long as you can make it across, like jump over that hill. If you're wondering how I did that or like where to jump exactly, just rewind to this point. We're at 16 minutes, approximately 16 minutes in. So rewind past like where I'm flying over, so you can know exact spot to navigate your bike over. Okay, so we have three things that we're trying to get. We need to get to the tower to hack into the cameras. We need to find all the cocaine, and we need to poison the wells. So far, we haven't gotten anything. But here's one of the spots where the poison could be, but it's not here today. So over here in that corner, you might find the poison, but you won't find it today. It's not there. So there's two other spots where it could be. So this is my path towards the tower, so I always check the poison there on the way to the tower. And basically the best trick I can give if you're struggling with doing the scoping or doing anything to do with Cayo Perico is to always look at your minimap. The minimap is the most important thing. It's way more important than your main screen. It's very precise. You can see where the bad guys are looking at, how far they can see, and where you are compared to that. And always just keep moving. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about if they turn around real quick or if you think they're going to see you. And here's where the tower. What you want to do at the tower is you want to listen for, of course, Thorin, but I lost my bike. So when you get to the tower, you want to listen for like an electrical noise. Thorin stating the obvious now that I could do this all on a bike. I don't have to run. But if you rewind to like minute 15, 40 seconds, you'll see what happened to me. I flew over the. I got across the hill or like the wall, the guards, but I made it without my bike, so. Here you have to do a little bit of math. Oh boy, this is gonna be a hard one. Got it. Boy, you just gotta calculate so that the numbers equal to what. One of them is half, one of them is 10, and one of them is 1. Oh, one of them is 2 times. Anyway. I'm not going to go in detail exactly how to do that hack, but basically it's math, but if you struggle with it, look at 1 at a time. So X is always 10. There's one that's 1, I'm not sure what that one is. And then there's one that's half or 2, I forget if it's half or 2. Oh. That's not good. The tower is really tricky to friggin' walk up and down. But the important thing is I got the hack, and I'm gonna look into the cameras. You need to go pan left and right every single camera. Not every single camera, like the ones where there's no loot, you don't have to. But out of habit, because I don't really pay attention. Look at that, Black Panther, first go. Thorin, I was on the bike. I mentioned it that if you can do this on the bike, but I don't have a bike, so I did it by foot. And also not to worry about getting the bike. As long as you follow the path. Yeah, running is long, but it's the more you know the more you know the island, the better. Just makes when you're doing more and more complicated heists with more friends, then it's good to know the island very well. So I always recommend to do a lot of scoping and to do the career mode. You just become really good at the Cayo Perico, and you would make a lot of money and quickly. So every single camera you scope left and right, so you make sure you go across both sides completely, because sometimes there's more than one loot in one room. So you got the Panther, which is great. My other character ended up in a bad sports lobby. You want to know why, Thorin? Yeah. I have a limit. I only do like sometimes I'll only do 3 because with friends we do the replay. The other character got put into bad sport because I was getting my garages organized, but one of the characters has less money than the other, so the one with all the money I was using to destroy all the cars. And because my character with all the money destroyed too many cars, he was put in bad sports lobby for 2 days. I completely forgot that if you destroy too many cars, you get put in bad sports lobby. All right, so you see, even though I wasn't really paying attention, I did left to right on all of the cameras, and therefore I'm not too concerned. I can now see in the mini map all the loot that I found so far, including what's at the compound. And your mini map also tells you, you've got 10 cash, you have what looks like only 1 gold, 2 painting. When the KO started, the replay was unlimited, and I did that so much that this guy ended up in the bad sports lobby for a long time. I forget how long. And it's funny too because I'm like the least bad sports person you'll ever meet. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're going to the north dock. Oh, I'm gonna jump across. I'm gonna go to the main dock. There's a spot here, but there's poison as well. And again, I'm doing the KO the way that I prefer to do it. Not everybody likes to get the poison into the well. And some people love to speed run it. I just like to get as much money as possible, so I give myself the best chance of getting the KO heist itself. Like a high chance of succeeding every time we do it. So that's why I poison the well. So I'm gonna go ahead and look for the poison. So I used the tower as a reference because on the way there's one spot where I checked for poison, which we couldn't find it. Okay, so here's, you go between these trees and you jump over here to jump over this hill. Just be careful that the guard is not pointing towards you when you do that, otherwise you get caught. And also, for some reason, the guards now can hear better, so don't get too close to them with a motorcycle. Just a reminder that earlier we checked here for the poison, didn't find it. So now we're gonna look again somewhere else. We put it in the well and it weakens the guards, and it makes the heist a lot easier. I also don't like to do it in hard mode because we fail. I usually do it with a group of 2 or 3 other people. We're really good at doing the KO, but there is a difference with hard mode and not hard mode, and we just finish it a lot faster with when it's not in hard mode. So there's no point for us to do it in hard mode because we could just do a lot more of them. Oh, so we've already did.
What are you doing here?
Oh, I got caught by the guy here. I was just gonna say I didn't mean to go all the way to the tower with my motorcycle. Usually the motorcycle doesn't actually attract attention at the tower, so that's new. Because from the tower I want to jump off to the next spot for the poison.
Think you are nothing but filthy smuggler. You break the rules too many times, they break you one time with no need to do it again.
If you're doing the KO by yourself, especially with the panther, you do not need to do the poison. You don't need to do anything but go straight to the tower. So just, if you're struggling to find how to get to the tower, just rewind, put this in slow-mo, and just follow the exact path that I just showed you. If you do it with a group of friends, the way you scope it will make the heist either a lot easier or a lot harder. And even if you've done the heist a billion times, there's going to be a moment where all of a sudden you fail it like 3 times in a row, 4 times in a row. Why is the bike not respawning? There's usually a bike that respawns over here. My lucky day. So there should be a bike that spawns over here. I don't know why it's not. It doesn't just keep walking back and forth. There's no point in walking to scope out this mission. And if you get to a point where you're completely lost in the woods or something and you have to walk everywhere, just get caught so you can end up back here. Why is the bike not spawning? Hope they didn't nerf that. It's also a lot more annoying to do it at night. No, not taking a car. I want my bike. This is it's the easiest way to do it. Driving in a car in the woods in the middle of the night in Cayo Perico Island. C'est drôle, c'est drôle. I might have to take a car though. Me and my bravado. Oh, but tabarnak. See, the good thing about YouTube is you can say all kinds of Québécois swear words. Tabarnak de tabarnak. Ça fait longtemps que je l'ai pas fait, le Cayo Perico. It's been a while since I've done the Cayo Perico, so the scoping is where it's gonna take me the longest, just because of all the things I did do scope out. I bet you. Oh, that's what you mean. Get a car and then it'll spawn. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, that's what you meant. Too funny. Alright, so where I want to go to get the next poison is over here. There's a spot around here. And basically, somewhere around here. Basically, get on the tower. Oh, I can't parachute off the tower because I've already used my parachute. I'll have to bike there. I only have one parachute in Cayo Perico. So random. Every once in a while I get all these colorful helmets, and other times it's just the black one. No. C'est mon compte principal. Alright, so here we go. So you go between those trees and you jump right here. Oh, well that'll do. And if you're afraid of them seeing you, just keep going. It's a very hard habit to break, to like go fast. It's so much fun going fast on the bike. Okay, so I need to go towards that point. So over here, you see, this is the second point. This is where I normally parachute. But you could see that there's like little weed field. And over here, there's a little shack. And in the said shack, on the corner here, sometimes there's the poison. And yep, it's there today. No, pretty rich. I do a lot of the nightclub and the bunkers. Like I let them fill up and then I do them public. Actually, my last stream, when I realized my other account was had been put into bad sport lobby, I was like, oh, well, I might as well grind for some money. So I did my nightclub and bunker grind. Made 1.5 and 2.7 more cash. Of course, I have more cash, but that's mostly because I got the Panther.
Okay, position locked.
Okay, so from here, what you want to try to do is look around and find the well. And the well looks like looks a bit like the tower, but it's also, where is it? It's harder to see at night. Let's try to get up higher somewhere and get my bike. Again, always look at the minimap. The minimap will guide you in terms of how close you are to cameras, how close you are to people. And try to remember where you put your bike. I got like 99% lucky there that I remembered, because that bike disappears. It's very camouflage. Alright, so what I'm doing right now is I'm going higher higher ground so I can look out and see where that water tank is. So it's over there. I can tell it's a water tank because the underneath is glowing, not the top like the towers. Towers, the top is glowing, and the tank, it's like the bottom is glowing. Nope. No, I do my grinds. They're comforting, they're fun. I do the bunker and the nightclub in public, so it gets my heart rate going up. I make some good money from it, and I don't spend a lot of money. And if I do spend a lot of money, I do KOs and nightclub and bunker grinds, so there we go. Now at this point you will see the towers over here that we were looking at. And this is actually kind of very satisfying. It's a lot of fun. I'm not trying to get up the ladder, that's not fun. It seems like the character doesn't know how to get up a ladder. But once you get to the top of the well, you poison that well. And I do this religiously.
Good work. If you need a toilet, go now. There's about to be a long line, huh? And not one of them able to point their gun straight.
If you press X and down, slide down the ladder. There we go. So now we've poisoned the well. And where we are now, we're at the main dock basically. If you look at the minimap, we're close to the main dock. We're heading towards the main dock. I will show you the third location where it could be, the poison. And hopefully I didn't go too fast, so it's hard to rewind to be able to see where I was looking in the minimap. I'll try to be more mindful to go slower. But right here, there's a guy over here. There's always a guy standing here. Here's the third location where it could be. This is the third possible poison location. And as you can see, you're standing right beside the water tower at that point, if it is there. There's two water towers, one here on the main dock and one in the north dock. Alright, so if you keep walking towards this area, you have more scoping to do. Hey, we finally got some cocaine, that's pretty good.
I have marked this spot on the screen.
So 2 cocaines will fill up a whole bag. One person's bag. They're just weaker. They're just not as good at catching you. They don't hear as well. It gives you a little bit of an advantage at the compound. And Pavel mentions it when you're doing the heist. So that's one. They always see bodies. Yep. But they might not hear your footsteps as well, kind of thing. Or you might shoot and miss once, but you have the opportunity to kind of get back really quickly and shoot them twice. That kind of thing. So poisoning the well gives you that advantage of weakening the guards at the compound. or just generally. So when I'm here, I like to get a reference point.
Estoy de acuerdo.
When we come in with the long fin, we come in from this side, so it helps me to remember where the locations are. So I get across on this side of the water, and then I remember, oh yeah, these are the spots where the cocaine can be. There's two more, I believe there's two more spots. There's one right here. And now this camera looks like it could catch you, but it can't. And this one you need a lever. Can't do it alone. So the two guys standing at the door on the left, behind them there's a lever. And when you try to get it here, you need somebody to pull the lever here.
¡Ay! ¡Dios!
Yeah, they're screaming. So even if they scream, don't worry about it. They can't see you. And because there's a building, although the guy's like it shows like he's facing this way, he can't see you. Okay, so then there's another spot. There's another location where there could be some illicit drugs. Just being mindful that you don't get in the view of that camera.
What are you doing here?
Got caught, busted. So it's in between the two cocaine piles. There's another one. There's another location to scope out. But instead of going back to that specific location, I'm gonna actually go to the north dock, because I've scoped out pretty much all the stuff at the main dock. I'm gonna do some scoping in the north dock. There's something about selling cars that really, I don't know, that I guess if I'm going to make money, I might as well kind of do, like, pretend to be legit. I enjoy this. I do this with my friends a lot of times. So it's like a social thing more than anything else. So when you go to the North Dock, you take a car over here. There's always a bike here. It's another one of those that spawns every single time, except when I try to show it. Alright, just be careful. Guards can hear very well, apparently, in the North Dock compared to the main dock. That guy has like this incredible hearing or something. He must have had ear surgery because he can hear you a mile away. That's why I'm running across. So in the North Dock, there's a little spot in the cage. Looks like cash.
Location noted.
Sometimes there's clothing over here on the side. Not today. and then sometimes the clothing is out here. And there's another spot to look at here. There's
Adding to planning screen.
and another spot here. There's another one of those levers, but if you're playing solo, this lever you can actually grab. So I suspect Rockstar tends to put more good loot in here
That's on your planning screen
because it
now.
says you can actually lift that lever solo.
Noting location. Okay, position logged.
And surely there must be one more in the middle. No, I think those are the spots. Like I'm missing a spot, but I think we went to 3 spots. Yeah, there's only 3 spots. I'm not missing a spot. I'm gonna steal a boat and steal those. Oh, black boats over here. And just out of interest to complete all the scoping, I'm gonna just scope in the main dock. There's one more spot to scope. Have you ever seen the Loch Ness Monster? I've seen it a few times. Won't see it tonight. So it's been 15 minutes. So this is the part that definitely takes the longest. I generally do it solo, so that my friends don't have to scope with me. They could scope their own mission, and then that way we have a couple KOs in a row. It's more difficult, but get through it. Means like I'm going slower as well, so it's easier to, if you need to rewind to find the poison, especially the poison. I'm really bad with maps, so I all constantly need to be verifying where I am. Good old dyslexia. So there's only one more location here. We scoped out 2 out of 3 spots. Third spot is straightforward. Straight ahead. There's steps to find the Loch Ness. Yes, so the third spot on the main dock is right here. There's only weed. Alright, now you just get caught. Once you've scoped out your whole thing, get caught, and then that way you can go straight back to your plane and back to the airport. And I got some weird mask on for some reason. Haha, floating plane. Now, completely ready to do part 2. So this is if you're doing a full scope, this is exactly how long it'll take you. If you do only the tower part, or only the main dock, or only the north dock, you can kind of determine how long it'll take you. But I just get sick of those YouTubers constantly telling you everything takes 10 to 15 minutes, and then you're still doing it 35 minutes later. So this is probably the best kind of scope you can do, especially if you're playing Cayo Perico with 2-3 people. 2-3 other people, like 3 to 4 people total. If you're playing it with